Welcome students to chemistry class, and in this new session we will discuss about different ways in which we can express the concentrations of solutions. By concentration of solutions we mean that how much quantity of a solute is present in a definite amount of solution. So the concentration of solutions can be expressed in various different ways, but here we will discuss about 5 different methods that is in our syllabus. So one of them is percentage. So in percentage, how many percent percent solutions are prepared, and normality of solutions, molarity of solutions, uh, another expression called molality. So we will talk about that also, as well as mole fraction. So these are the 5 different ways in which we are going to study the how expressions can be made out about the concentrations of solutions. So let us talk about percentage strength of solution. So here, by saying percentage strength, we mean that the percentage of solute, that is quantity of solute that is present in 100 gram in 100 ml of solution, in 100 parts of solution. So that means the percentage of that solute. So by percentage strength we mean that the number of parts of solute present in 100 parts of solution. So percentage method can be expressed in 3 different ways. One is percentage in weight by weight. That means both solute and solution, both weight, both are taken in their weights. So that is percentage by mass. So this is one method. Another method we express percentage strength of a solution is percentage in weight by volume. That is some quantity, some few grams of solute present in 100 ml of solution. So that is percentage weight by volume. Another percentage expression is percentage in volume by volume. How much quantity of a particular liquid has been dissolved in 100 ml of solution. So that is percentage in volume by volume. So these are the 3 methods, but we will discuss only about 2, that is percentage in weight by weight and percentage in weight by volume. These 2 are in our syllabus, so we will talk about these 2 methods only. Thus by weight percentage we mean that the amount of solute we have to take in grams, and that amount in grams present in 100 gram of solution. So mass percentage of solute in a particular solution can be calculated mathematically as mass of solute in grams divided by total mass of solution. Total mass of solution, by saying total mass of solution, we have to take into account mass of solute as well as mass of the solvent, and both constitute the total mass of solution. So mass of solute divided by total mass of solution multiplied by 100 will give you percentage in weight by weight, or mass percentage. So this is how we calculate mass percentage or weight percentage. Let us take up one numerical based on mass percentage. So The question says that 5 grams of sucrose are dissolved in 20 grams of water. So find the mass percentage. So how we are going to do that? So we have been provided mass of sucrose, that is solute, and mass of water, that is solvent. So mass of solute and mass of solvent have been given, and we are being asked to give the mass percentage of solution. So first what we have to look for, so we have to look for our formula for mass percentage. So the formula for mass percentage is mass of solute divided by mass of solution, and that being multiplied with 100 gives you the mass percentage. And what information we have? We have the mass of solute. And what about mass of solution? So we have to calculate the mass of solution. So how to do that? We have been given the mass of solute, that is sucrose, mass of sucrose, that is 5 grams. We have been given the mass of solvent, that is water, that is 20 grams. So total mass of solution is mass of solute plus mass of solvent, and that is equal to 5 grams plus 25 grams, and that comes out to be 25 grams. So total mass of solution is 25 grams. So let us put all the values. So mass of solute is 5 grams, mass of solution is 25 grams. So 5 divided by 25 multiplied by 100, and that comes out to be 20. So the mass percentage of the given solution is 20%. So another percentage expression is weight by volume, percentage in weight by volume. So what does it mean, percentage in weight by volume? It means that amount of solute in weight, that is grams, in grams. So amount of solute, a particular solute in grams dissolved in 100 ml of solution. So that gives you the percentage in weight by volume. So mathematically we can say that percentage by weight by volume is equal to mass of solute in grams divided by volume of solution. So you have to always remember, in denominator we have to take always volume of solution, mass of solution. Okay, so don't never confuse for solvent. So here mass of solute in grams and divided by volume of solution multiplied by 100. So that gives you percentage in weight by volume. Let us take up one numerical based on percentage in weight by volume. So the question is, what is the percentage in weight by volume of a solution that has 33 grams of glucose dissolved in 300 ml of water? So we have been provided the mass of glucose, that is solute, so that is 33 grams. So mass of solute is 33 grams, and volume of water, volume of solvent has been given, that is 300 ml. So simply we have to know the percentage by weight by volume. So what is the formula? Formula for that is percentage by weight by volume is equal to mass of solute in grams divided by volume of solution in milliliters multiplied by 100. So simply we have to put all the values. So mass of solute has been given, that is 33, divided by mass of volume of water, that is 300 ml. So 33 by 300 multiplied by 100. So that comes out to be 11%. So the percentage weight by volume is 11%. Now we will talk about one of very famous expressions for expressing the concentration of a solution is normality. Normality, and normality is represented by capital N. Capital N. So what is actually normality? So normality is defined as the number of gram equivalents, of solute present in 1 liter of solution. See, number of gram equivalents present in 1 liter of solution, not 1 liter of solvent. You have to always keep in mind here it is 1 liter of solution at a particular temperature. Why at a particular temperature? Because the volume of solution depends on temperature. Volume may increase, may decrease if you heat a solution, if you cool the solution. So that is why normality depends on temperature. It is a temperature dependent concentration. So now let us come to mathematically what is normality. So normality, mathematically we can say that number of gram equivalents of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. So what can be the unit? So unit will be gram equivalents per liter. So that is the unit of normality. Unit for normality is gram equivalents per liter. So already we have learnt about number of gram equivalents. In previous session we have talked about gram equivalents. So what is gram equivalent? Gram equivalent is mass of solute, mass of a particular compound divided by its equivalent weight. So here because we are interested in the equivalent number of gram equivalents of solute, so we will say mass of solute, let it be W grams, divided by equivalent weight of solute, let it be capital E. So number of gram equivalents of solute will be equal to W upon E. Thus normality, we have already talked, is equal to number of gram equivalents upon volume of solution in liters. So in place of number of gram equivalents we can write W upon E. Okay, and if V is equal to volume of a solution in milliliters, then how we are going to write that? Then the expression for normality will become W upon E divided by volume V in ml divided by 1000. Why divided by 1000? Because if we want to convert milliliters into liters, what we have to do? 1 liter is equal to 1000 milliliters. That's why if I want to convert volume in ml to liters, we have to divide by 1000. So V upon 1000. So normality is equal to W upon E divided by V upon 1000. And if we rearrange this expression, it will come out to be W into 1000 upon E into V. And what W, E and V stand for? W stands for weight of solute in grams. Capital E stands for equivalent weight of solute. And small v stands for volume of solution in ml. So this is formula for normality. Normality is equal to W into 1000 upon E into V. This is one expression. So we have to always keep in mind that because normality is number of gram equivalents per liter of solution, and because liter is volume expression, so normality varies with change in temperature. I have already explained that volume changes because of temperature, so normality will always vary with change in temperature. So normality is a temperature dependent expression for strength of concentration. Now we will take one numerical based on normality. So question is, find the normality of a solution that has 12 grams of oxalic acid dissolved in 100 ml water. So how we are going to calculate normality of this solution? So what we have been given, we have been given the mass of oxalic acid, that is a small w. W is provided. W is equal to 12.6 grams. Volume of water, that is V. V is also given. So V is equal to 100 ml. So let us go to the formula for normality. Normality formula says that it is equal to W into 1000 divided by capital E multiplied by V. So we have two quantities, W and V. We have already. So what we should know, if I know capital E, the value of equivalent weight, I can easily calculate the normality of this solution. So how to calculate equivalent weight? So let us come to that. So molecular mass of oxalic acid is COOH taken twice dot 2H2O. So crystals of oxalic acid has 2 molecules of water. Okay, so if we calculate the molecular mass of oxalic acid, that comes out to be 126. 126 is the molecular mass of oxalic acid. What is basicity of oxalic acid? About basicity we have already talked while discussing with for equivalent weights. So basicity of oxalic acid is 2. Why? Because it is able to furnish 2 protons, 2 H plus ions. So that is why its basicity is 2. So what is the equivalent weight of oxalic acid? The equivalent weight of an acid is always molecular weight upon its basicity. So we know the molecular weight, that is 126. We know the basicity of oxalic acid, that is 2. So molecular weight upon basicity is equal to 126 upon 2, that is equal to 63. So we have also found the value for capital E. Now let us put all these values in the formula. So normality is equal to W into 1000 divided by E into V. So let us put, so W is equal to 12.6, so 12.6 multiplied by 1000. This whole expression is divided by E into V, that is 63 into 100, because volume of water is 100. So on putting and solving, we get normality is equal to 2 gram equivalents per liter. 2 gram equivalents per liter. So what does it mean? It means that the normality of this solution is 2 normals. So we will now talk about very famous and most widely used concentration term, that is molarity. So molarity is represented as capital M. Molarity is represented as capital M. So what is molarity? So molarity is defined as number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solution. So remember here also, keep in mind, it is 1 liter of solution. not 1 liter of solvent. Always we are talking about solution, not solvent. 1 liter of solution at a particular temperature. So because again, because volume is dependent on temperature, so molarity is also dependent on temperature. Molarity will vary with temperature. So mathematically, how we are going to find an expression for molarity? So mathematically, molarity is equal to number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters. So what will be its unit? So unit of molarity will be moles per liter. So unit of molarity is moles per liter. Now we have already known that what is number of moles. So how we are going to find number of moles? Number of moles is mass of solute, mass of a particular compound divided by its molecular weight. Because we are interested about the solute, so we will talk about number of moles of solute. So number of moles of solute will be equal to mass of solute, let it be W grams, divided by molecular weight of the solute, let its molecular weight be m dash. So the number of moles of solute will be equal to W upon m dash. So this is number of moles of solute. We already know that molarity is equal to number of moles divided by volume of solution in liters. So we have already discussed what is number of moles. Number of moles, we have found that number of moles is W upon m dash. Now if the volume of solution is not in liters, it is given in milliliters, then what will be the expression? So the expression will be, molarity will be W upon m dash, the whole divided by volume. If its volume is small v in milliliters, divided by 1000. Why divided by 1000? Because we know that 1000 ml makes 1 liter. So if I have some volume in milliliters and if I want to convert into liters, I have to divide that volume V up with 1000. So that is why this expression is W upon m dash, the whole expression divided by V upon 1000, and that is equal to W into 1000 divided by m dash into small v. And what is W, m dash and v? So W is weight of the solute in grams, capital M dash is molecular weight of the solute, and small v is volume of the solution in milliliters, volume of solution in milliliters. So we have already talked that molarity varies with change in temperature. Why? Because we have taken volume of solution, number of moles in volume of solution in liters. That is why molarity changes or varies with change in temperature, because volume depends on temperature, volume varies with temperature. So molarity is also dependent on change in temperature. So normality as well as molarity, both are dependent on temperature. Let us do a numerical based on molarity. So the question is, find the molarity of a solution that has 12.6 grams of oxalic acid dissolved in 100 ml of water. So what information we have been already given? We have been given the mass of oxalic acid, that is W, small w. So this is equal to 12.6 grams. Now another information that we are having is volume of water, V is also given, that is 100 ml. Now what we have to find, if I know the capital M, so everything will be there in our formula, so we can directly put all the values. So how to find the molecular mass of oxalic acid? So because the molecular formula mass of oxalic acid is COH taken twice dot 2H2O, so we can simply add all the atomic masses, and M dash comes out to be 126. We have already calculated the molecular weight of oxalic acid, so it was 126. So let us put molarity in molarity formula. So molarity is equal to W into 1000 divided by M dash into V. W is 12.6 into 1000 divided by 126 into 100. So that comes out to be 1 moles per liter. So the molarity of this solution is 1 moles per liter. So this we have prepared 1 molar solution of oxalic acid in water. This is all. So we have already discussed about molarity and normality. So both of them are related quantities, related expressions. So molarity in multiplied by molecular mass of solute is equal to normality multiplied by equivalent mass of solute. So molarity can be written as normality multiplied by equivalent mass of solute divided by its molecular mass. So that is one expression. So we can always, if I have molarity and I want to find out its normality, so by using these expressions we can convert molarity into normality or normality into molarity. Apart from molarity and normality, that are very widely used terms for expressing the concentration of a solution, there is another term that is used for expressing the concentration or strength of a solution is molality. Molality, and molality is represented by small m. Small m, molarity was represented by capital M, molality is represented by small m. So what is molality? So molality can be defined as the number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. So earlier in molarity, what is the difference between molality and molarity is, in molarity number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of solvent, and molality is number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. There it was number of moles of solute present in 1 liter solution. It was 1 liter solution, and here it is 1 kg solvent. It is not solution, it is solvent. So number of moles dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. So mathematically we can say that molality is number of moles of solute divided by mass of the solvent in kg. So what will be the unit for molality? So unit for molality will be moles per kg, moles per kg. So we already know that how we calculate number of moles if we know its mass and molecular weight. So because we are interested in solute again, so mass of solute, suppose let it be W grams. So if I divide the mass of solute with its molecular weight, let it be M dash, so its number of moles will be W upon M dash. So this is how we are going to find the number of moles of solute. So we have already defined molality as number of moles dissolved in 1 kg solvent. 1 kg solvent. So number of moles we have already found is W upon M dash. So if I have mass of solvent in grams, let it be W grams, capital W grams. So molality now will become as W upon M dash, small w upon M dash, divided by capital W, that is mass of solvent in grams, divided by 1000. Why divided by 1000? Because we know that 1 kg contains 1000 grams. So if I have to convert some mass in grams to kgs, I have to divide it with 1000. That's why molality is equal to small w upon M dash, the whole divided by capital W upon 1000. So that becomes equal to small w into 1000 divided by M, capital M dash, multiplied with capital W. So what are small w, capital W and M dash? So small w is weight of solute in grams. Weight of solute in grams is represented by small w, and molecular weight of the solute is represented by capital M dash. And what does capital W stand for? So it stands for mass of the solvent in grams. So here we have to see one thing, that molality is number of moles dissolved in 1 kg solvent. So because mass is not dependent on temperature, that is why molality is also not dependent on temperature. So molality is independent of change in temperature. So molality does not change with change in temperature, whereas normality and molarity both change if there is change in temperature. So let us take up one example based on finding molality of a solution. So the question here is, find the molality of a solution that has 12.6 grams of oxalic acid dissolved in 100 ml water. So we know the molality formula is W into 1000 divided by M dash into capital W. So what information we have been provided? So we have been provided with the mass of oxalic acid, that is mass of solute, that is small w. Small w we have been given, that is equal to 12.6 grams. Now we have been given the volume of water. So volume of water is 100 ml, but in our formula we need the volume of, not volume of water or volume of solvent, but we need the weight of solvent. So capital W we need to find out. So how to convert volume of water into weight of water? So we already know that density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. Density of water is 1 gram per milliliter. What does it mean? It means that 1 ml of water has a mass of 1 gram. So if I have 100 ml of water, what should be its mass? So its mass should be 100 grams. So we have found the weight of solvent, that is water, capital W. Capital W now is 100 grams. So in our formula we have got small w, that is 12.6 gram. We have got the value of capital W, that is weight of solvent, is equal to 100 grams. Now we have already calculated the mass of molecular mass of oxalic acid, that is capital M dash, and that is equal to 126. So we have all the data required for finding molality. So molality, putting all these values, small w 12.6 multiplied by 1000, the whole expression divided by capital M, that is 126 multiplied by 100, because weight of solvent is 100 grams. So putting all these values and calculating, we get it is 1 mole per kg. So molality of this solution is 1 mole per kg. This is, we have prepared a solution of 1 molal. 1 molal solution has been prepared. So this is what we have been asked to find. Now another very important concentration term widely used is mole fraction. Mole fraction. So what is actually mole fraction? So mole fraction is defined as the ratio of number of moles of a component to the total number of moles of all components present in the solution. So mole fraction can be written as mathematically number of moles of a particular component divided by total number of moles, sum of all moles, sum of moles of all the components in the solutions. So what is the unit for mole fraction? Because we can see it is a ratio, so ratio has no units, so mole fraction has no units. So now let us derive an expression for mole fraction. So we know that mole fraction of solute is equal to, by its definition, number of moles of solute divided by total number of moles, that is number of sum of moles of solute and sum of moles of solvent. So that is total number of moles of solution. So that gives you the mole fraction of solute. So let us apply the concept of mole fraction for a two component solution. Two component solution means a solution that has two components, where the most simple solution contains one solute and one solvent. So there are two components in this solution, a solute and a solvent. So let us say that let the solute be represented by capital A and solvent be represented by capital B. So now how to find the mole fraction of solute A? So by definition it is number of moles of solute A divided by total number of moles present in solution. So that we can say as Na. And what is Na? Na represents the number of moles of solute divided by Na plus Nb. What is Nb? Nb here is number of moles of solvent. So we can simply write a mole fraction of solute A as number of moles of solute A divided by number of moles of solute A plus number of moles of solvent B. So this is the expression for finding mole fraction of solute A. Now what we have to do for finding mole fraction of solvent B? So simply we have to write the expression as number of moles of solvent B divided by total number of moles present in solution. So we have already said that number of moles of B can be represented as NB and divided by total number of moles in solution. And what is that? Total number of moles in solution is number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. So that is Na plus Nb. So the expression comes out to be Nb upon Na plus Nb. So this is how we can find mole fraction of solvent B. So there are 2 points to be kept in mind regarding mole fraction. First is, mole fraction does not change with temperature. Why? Because moles has no variation with temperature, and this whole expression deals with only number of moles of solute upon total number of moles of solution. So there is no volume, so there is no variation with temperature. So mole fraction does not change with change in temperature. Mole fraction is independent of change in temperature. And another point is very important is, mole fraction of a component can never be more than 1. Can never be more than 1, because it is a ratio between the components and one of the components. So mole fraction will always range between 0 to 1. Mole fraction cannot go beyond 1. So if you are, while solving a problem, if you get mole fraction of a particular component more than 1, so you have to check, because mole fraction can never be more than 1. Now we will find mole fraction of a solution. So the numerical is, a solution has 80 grams of sodium hydroxide dissolved in 684 ml water. So the question says that find the mole fraction of NaOH as well as water. So what information we have been provided? We have been given the mass of sodium hydroxide, that is 80 grams. So if I have the weight of a compound, we can calculate its molar number of moles. So number of moles formula is mass of that compound divided by molecular weight of that compound. So here our compound is sodium hydroxide, so Na is equal to number of moles of NaOH, that is represented by Na, so is equal to mass of sodium hydroxide divided by molecular weight of sodium hydroxide. So mass of sodium hydroxide is given, that is 80 grams, and molecular weight of sodium hydroxide can be calculated, and it is equal to 40. So 80 divided by 40 is equal to 2. So number of moles of sodium hydroxide is equal to 2 moles. So Na is equal to 2 moles. Now come to calculation for moles of water. So we have been given only volume of water. So volume of water is given is equal to 684 ml. So first what we have to find, we have to convert this volume into weight. So we all know that density of water is 1 gram per ml. We have already calculated. So what does it mean? It means that 1 ml of water has a mass of 1 gram. So what is the weight of 684 ml? So because 1 ml water is equal to 1 gram, therefore 684 ml water is equal to 684 grams. So we have found the weight of water, that is equal to 684 grams. So now we will come to find the number of moles of water, and let us represent that number of moles of water as n small n W. So we already know that the formula for finding number of moles is mass of compound divided by its molecular weight. So mass of water we have found is 684 grams divided by molecular weight of water, that is weight of water is 18. So 684 divided by 18 comes out to be 38 moles. So number of moles of water, that is NW, is equal to 38 moles. Now we have found both the moles of water as well as sodium hydroxide. Having found the number of moles of water as well as sodium hydroxide, now let us come to calculate the mole fraction of sodium hydroxide in this particular solution. So mole fraction of NaOH is equal to number of moles of sodium hydroxide divided by total number of moles in solution. So formula is Na divided by Na plus Nw. Na is number of moles of sodium hydroxide and Nw is number of moles of water, because we have already found that Na is equal to 2 and Nw is equal to 38. So putting all these values, 2 upon 2 plus 38, and that is equal to 2 upon 40, and that comes out to be 0.05. So mole fraction of sodium hydroxide in this solution is 0.05. Now let us find the mole fraction of water in this solution. So again, mole fraction of water can be calculated as number of moles of water divided by total number of moles in solution. So number of moles of water we have represented as Nw divided by Na plus Nw. So Nw we know that it is 38 and Na we know that it is 2. So 38 upon 2 plus 38, and that gives you 38 upon 40, and on calculation and simplifying we get that equal to 0.95. So mole fraction of water is 0.95. Now we have found the different expressions for molarity, normality, etc. for expressing the concentration of a solution. So what is their applicability? So we widely use them in volumetric analysis. So the term volumetric analysis says itself is very self-explanatory, that is analysis by volumes. So generally volumetric analysis, by saying, you will come to one very famous thing you have when you have come to chemistry lab is titration. So titration is for nothing but volumetric analysis, and volumetric analysis is based on the law of chemical equivalence. And what is law of chemical equivalence? It says that all chemical substances react in the ratio of their equivalent weights. We have already discussed. So it means 1 gram of a particular compound would react with 1 gram equivalent of a particular reactant will react with 1 gram equivalent of another reactant in a chemical reaction. So this is all the law of chemical equivalence. Let us apply this law of chemical equivalence. So let us take one example of reaction having HCl and NaOH. You all know that HCl is an acid, NaOH is a base, and the reaction between them is neutralization reaction. So what is actually the reaction? So we can write that reaction as HCl plus NaOH gives you NaCl plus water. So here we can see that 1 mole of HCl reacts with 1 mole of sodium hydroxide and gives you 1 mole of sodium chloride along with 1 mole of water. So from this expression, this chemical equation, what we can infer? So we can see that 1 gram equivalent of HCl, 1 gram equivalent of acid reacts with 1 gram equivalent of base, that is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So what is 1 gram equivalent of HCl? It is 36.5 grams. 36.5, in another way, it means that 36.5 grams of HCl will react with 40 grams of sodium hydroxide, because 1 gram equivalent of HCl is equal to 36.5 grams. 1 gram equivalent of weight of NaOH is 40 grams. So what is number of gram equivalents? So the whole thing is based on number of gram equivalents. You can see 1 gram equivalent of HCl, 1 gram equivalent of NaOH. So we have already calculated that number of gram equivalents is equal to normality into volume in milliliters divided by 1000. So we can write number of gram equivalents as N into V divided by 1000, that is normality into volume divided by 1000. So because we have already seen gram equivalent of substance, that is acid, is equal to gram equivalent of substance 2, that is base. So if I write gram equivalent of acid as N1 multiplied by V1 upon 1000, so that should be equal to N2 into V2 upon 1000. So N2 is for normality of base, V2 is volume of base, N1 is normality of acid, V1 is volume of acid. So because 1000 can cancel each other, therefore that equation comes to be N1 multiplied with volume 1 is always equal to N2 into V2, and this is very famous and very applicable formula you will always apply while doing titrations, that is N1 V1 is equal to N2 V2. What does it mean? Volume of acid multiplied by normality of acid is always equal to volume of base into normality of base. So this is very famous formula, very utilized equation. So learn this and you will get numericals based on this. So this is all, and with this we have finished the first chapter, that is some basic concepts in chemistry. So thank you.